defensive weapons on the back row, especially with Cassie Waite, you know, Kansas can just really get frustrating to you with the attackers. And then for Kansas, I think what's so important is, you know, terminate the first ball. I know that's one of the areas where head coach Ray Bouchard said we got to do a better job of doing that. And then also winning the battle of the net, because Arkansas is a very physical team, and so they can get in front of you. And one area where Kansas maybe hasn't been great at this season is in those team block categories. So they can look to be bigger in that.
All right, the Razorbacks will serve it up. Arkansas in their red, trimmed in black. The Kansas Jayhawks in white, trimmed in crimson and blue. Glad you're with us from Lawrence, Kansas. And we're underway. Avili goes quickly to Kelsey Payne. Kansas loves to see Kelsey Payne off to a fast start.
Yeah, and she struggled in set two, which we hadn't seen that. It was really uncharacteristic to see that, but, you know, way to get her involved early. Beautiful pass up by Patricia Montero, which I think she brings a lot to the table with her ball control, which set that play up nicely.
Madison Rigdon serves for Kansas. Zoe Hill was there for the Jayhawks. Jopic. Hill there again along with Payne. Jopic again. Into the net. Kansas off to a good start.
And 2 positive touches for the middle blocker. And I know that didn't result in a block per se, but that was one of the keys for Kansas is at the front line. And that was a great play by Zoe Hill working the freshman middle blocker, number 6 for KU.
Off of Avili and a kill there for Volsky. Savannah Volsky, the senior.
Savannah Volsky was a player that was a defensive specialist last season, but because of the injury right now where it has Pilar Victoria, one of the superstars for Arkansas sidelines, she's stepping in and playing 6 rotations.
Patricia Montero fires away. Long, says Dr. Ken Corum. Point to Arkansas.
Head coach Ray Bouchard says, you know, we get the starting nod on the other pin player to Montero right now because she's the most consistent player. She was trying to go after high hands, does just miss them.
Really sets it high for Payne. Just misses wide. Point to Arkansas.
And another miscue that you haven't seen too often from Kelsey Payne. Now, Arkansas has been a team, because they are 1-4 this season, they haven't had a lot of consistent play. They're the ones that have made some unforced errors. So we're going to see if Kansas can settle down. And Arkansas will take those, though, because teams haven't been getting in too many unforced errors.
Hill got a hand on that one. Set from Avili, and Kansas ends the Arkansas run at 3 straight points.
And Zoe Hill, freshman, if you work hard, you're going to get rewarded. It's exactly what she does. She drives in transition in this Kansas Invitational. She's doing an exceptional job hitting .412. And that number is going to keep increasing if she gets kills every time she gets the ball.
Really tries to dig it out. Cassie Waite goes into the Kansas bench but can't reach it. Point to the Razorbacks.
And yesterday where Arkansas had success was at running any kind of offense behind the setter. You saw back-to-back kills, one from Volsky, that last one from Jopic. And I think Taylor Susie actually lost her contact, so that's what we're waiting on right now. She gets it back in, so we're good to go.
She smiles and said, I'm fine. Avili sets it high for Taylor Susie. She saw that one just fine.
And she did. And the most comfortable attack that she runs in Taylor Susie, 1 foot quick off the middle here, and you can see no block. I mean, she had 3 feet to go after, and all that was set up from that nice pass.
Long from Danielle Harbin. Point to Kansas.
And the set could have been called a double contact, in my opinion, but played on, but still results in an error for the Razorbacks.
Payne serves into the net. We're even at 5.
And you wonder a little bit, you know, this is a tournament. This is a 3rd match for these teams in 2 days. So does fatigue set in? And what you have to do is continue that level of focus when you go back there, especially at the service line.
Here's our look at Rachel Rippey, the freshman. Avili has to track that one down. Montero swings. Chance for Arkansas. From the outside, that's Danielle Harbin, and she's a high flyer, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's so dynamic. She's one of those players that they've used in every zone on the front row. She was a middle blocker when she came in. Now on the outside, they've also seen her on the right side. So her versatility and her athleticism makes her tough to defend.
Overpass. Cassie Waite dives in to save it. Avilia's there to cover. Payne from the back row.
And that's a point you think, how can Kansas win that? Well, Cassie Waite, the libero for KU, just digs in and says, I'm not going to let this hit the floor. And then secondary set as well. And you have Kelsey Payne in 6 rotations now so they can utilize her from the back row. Great job.
Patricia Montero, the redshirt freshman, steps back to serve. Just long. Kansas will be aggressive with their serves. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, and that one just barely missed the back line, and she didn't get a complete snap. That when she has a top spin ball, you think that's going to spin and hit the back line. It does just miss it. Good call from the line official.
Harbin to serve for Arkansas. Off the net, Wade is there. Susie pounds away. That one goes into the stands. Point to Kansas.
Well, you like how Taylor Seuss is getting involved early. She's going to rotate out now as Maggie Anderson comes in. But beautiful pass. I mean, she has every option she wants to. See how big that seam is there, and that's what sets that up is a perfect pass, and Anissa Havili running her offense well.
And Sophia Giussino for Arkansas.
And Husina is one of those 7 seniors. And this ball yesterday was low for her. And you can see this is the adjustment that I was talking about in the open with Rachel Rippey, the freshman, just getting used to. She flies in the air. She's so athletic as a middle. You got to get it up to where she can contact at a high point. Great adjustment from the Razorbacks.
Wait there to cover for Kansas. Sets it up nicely for Zoe Hill.
Talk about an athletic middle, just a bit undersized actually in this position is Zoe Hill. It doesn't matter. Look, she just works. She gets up and seems like she floats in the air when she rises up. She's a fun one to watch in her freshman year.
Beatley with a good serve. Off Payne and Brianna Jones. We'll get credit for that one.
Brianna Jones comes in, another senior middle blocker for the Razorbacks. So you look on their front row right there, Volsky, Jopic, and Jones, all seniors. So quite the veteran squad. And then also setting right now is another senior. So they've been here before. They've just struggled in this 2016 campaign, but they can figure it out. They have a ton of talent.
There's Rigdon with a hard shot. Razorbacks able to save it, playing it off the ceiling, still alive. And once again, it's Zoe Hill for Kansas.
And I love Zoe's reaction. She turns
she's having
around,
fun, isn't she?
This big smile. I mean, she's just having a good time, and why not? I mean, your freshman year, a late commit actually was going to go to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, I believe, and then had coaching change, and then he went to Texas Tech, and then I know Bird got a hold of her and said, "Hey, we want you here at Kansas."
Outside, that's Jada Burse, one of the Kansas freshmen. Payne got a hand on that one. Cassie Waite there. Payne. Turned away there by Barbara Jopic.
And Jopic is such a presence at the net. You can't get benched by her, and she just so high over the net. Take a look at this. Pressing over back into the court. Jada Burse unable to hold it, but that's what Arkansas can do. They can frustrate the attackers because of the wall they can put at the front row.
Savannah Volsky for Arkansas. Serve is long. Taylor Susie, Maggie Anderson will check in for Kansas. Or, excuse me, Susie in for Anderson. Avili quickly to Susie, who finds an opening.
And that's all about tempo, and your middle's working. It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to have a ton of velocity, but it's more about placement and getting it over on the other side to their opponents before they can get a big wall and a block up against you.
Third kill for Taylor Susi. Into the net from the Razorbacks, the Jayhawks. Now up to a 12-10 lead, their third straight point. Wait there for Kansas. Rigdon from the back row. Wait with a nice save. Jayhawks can't get it over, however. Nice effort from Cassie Waite. And the string is broken for Arkansas here, 12-11.
Tremendous coverage, though, by Cassie Waite to even get that ball up. Unfortunately, unable to get the ball over, but how about that? Another block, a positive touch from the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Brianna Jones now for Arkansas. Jayhawks unable to play it. We're even at 12.
Wonderful serve. Your middle blocker going back there. A jump float. And with her height and her contact point, it's going to be a tough ball to pass just because it's coming over more at a straight line instead of having any kind of arch or angle coming down at you.
Rigdon handles it this time. Up high for Payne. Rigdon from the back row. Rolls it across. Volsky there to cover. Opportunity now for Kansas. Payne. Get Arkansas in the net.
Yes, Arkansas is in the net. It's a much better approach and contact point from Kelsey Payne on this ball. See how she rises up. Definitely see Arkansas in the net.
They really got a hand on that one. Payne comes through to save it. And Jada Burse, the freshman from Kansas, continues her fine play.
I think she got a whole hand on that, but regardless, it goes down as a kill. But I was impressed actually by the pickup from Kelsey Payne on the back row to get that one up, and then it was a nice push out from Havili to get the ball to Jada Burse. It's going to be interesting. She came in last night against Maryland, and I think did a fantastic job. I know head coach Ray Bashar was pleased with Jada Burse.
Payne digs that one out. Burse saves it out of the net. Payne. Nice dig there from Volsky. Arbin with a big hit. And
we did get a touch on that.
I
so
thought, well, let's see what the call is. I thought there was a touch originally, but.
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
Just take a look at this. See the plane of the net. It was Anissa Havili.
All right. Kansas up 14-13 now. Havili to Susi. Susi chicken wings it back up. Another battle at the net. Payne there to cover for Kansas. Burse. Valle was there for Arkansas. Susi. Nice stick from Rippey. Cassie Waite stabs it with her right hand. Rigdon from the back row.
Best rally of the match thus far. Both teams playing high-level volleyball, and it was a battle of attrition there. Who could better the ball to get a better swing at it? And Kansas on top.
Kansas the first of 15. The Jayhawks leading the Razorbacks 15-13 here in the first set from Lawrence, Kansas on ESPN3. It's a big weekend here in Lawrence, Kansas as the football team kicks off against Rhode Island at 6 o'clock. The undefeated volleyball team, number 4 in the country, sold out for the season. Tough to get a ticket. The Jayhawks enjoying the success and some great crowd support. They've yet to lose a set this year. They were pressed last night by Maryland, but a great challenge by head coach Ray Bouchard saved the first set, and Kansas went on to win it in straight sets. Troy Miller off the tape. Kelsey Payne there. Outside to Rigdon. Throws cross court and it's wide. No, wait, was there a touch?
Taken in the net, I believe.
Oh, okay.
A call by the down official on that net violation.
16-13 Kansas.
And that was a shot we saw Madison Rigdon go to time and time again last night. Just wishes that wide, but gets bailed out for the net violation from the Razorbacks.
Avili wants Susie. Rippey was there. Josh tried to play it out of the net. Cassie Wade going up and over the table. She'll go anywhere to find the ball, won't she?
She will. You really have to put a barrier and say, Cassie Wade, just stop. You can't play that one. She could no doubt get to that ball if the media stand wasn't there. She's sensational. I love watching her play.
She had two of the greatest gets you'll see yesterday, just traveling all over the court.
It was the first time I saw Cassie Wade have a sigh of like, whew, like she might have been the scotch bit tired. You don't see that
just doesn't happen,
very
does it?
often.
Feely runs it down. Rigdon swings away. Boy, Havili able to track that ball down and make a good pass to Rigdon.
And you wonder how she gets this ball through, but how about that set on the run from Havili? But she gets that, she goes actually line, just sneaks it under the most right hand from the Arkansas block.
Here's Maggie Anderson. Up high, and that's Anna Sophia Giussino for Arkansas.
One of the positive movements, I think, now for the Razorbacks is this middle attack. The height of it, I cannot say that enough. Yesterday it was so low. The timing was off, some just connection, and they have done such a good job just from yesterday to today in making that connection much better.
Kansas went for a quick set. Arkansas called for double contact.
I mentioned it's been the little things for the Razorbacks this season, why they're 1-4, and those are some of those things, net violations. They get in there. That's just a free point over to the Jayhawks. It's that level of consistent play throughout a match that they've been missing.
Ace Avili drops it on the back line.
It's a big old smile, little smirk. Didn't know that one was going to find the back four.
3 straight points for the Jayhawks, who now have a 19-15 lead over Arkansas.
And it's a jump float. You can see she hits it with a flat hand. Does get a little rotation, but that one was close. Does just get it. Good call from the line official, but enough to get a smile out of the junior first-team All-American performer. This quarterback for the Jayhawks does such a sensational job. And as we mentioned, she's got to be tired. We talk about fatigue setting in. Perhaps you look at Anissa Havili, but her fitness level is so high, and she's used to tracking down balls, makes it look easy.
Head coach Ray Bouchard giving his Jayhawks instructions. Jason Watson for Arkansas. You talked about the transition in Arkansas's program. Jason Watson took Arizona State to 4 straight tournaments. He obviously knows success and knows what it takes to build a winning program. Yeah,
and he had an Arizona State team last season, top 5 at one point in the top 25. So he's no doubt going to build this Arkansas program. He hasn't had his own recruiting class, but he has enough talent on this squad now to get back. Their goal is to get back to the NCAA tournament. And I love, just his calm demeanor. You can tell that he said, we can control effort. We can control that. That's one of those things that we can do day in and day out. And he's instilling a type of confidence and a calmness that you got to respect and love from Coach Watson. So he's going to do some great things in Fayetteville.
All right, Havili coming off the ace, serves it up. Off the tape. Volsky was there. Cassie Wade to Payne. Good effort from Rippey, but it floats out of bounds. 4 straight points now for Kansas. Bailey just off the tape again. Payne got it, but it floats out of bounds. Big hit there from Volsky. Adrian Walschlager for Arkansas, the senior. Serves up an ace. Just in front of the Jayhawks, Tori Miller.
And the bottom of that one absolutely fell down. Watch, she hits a jump float. Looks like it's going to keep going to Tori Miller and just dives at the last second. It's a hard one to track, especially when she's going line to line. Oftentimes, if you have a serve and it's coming from an angle, you have more time to adjust. When it's line to line, it comes at you and it falls much faster.
It's like the outfielders say, those balls that come right at you in the outfield are harder to track than the ones side to side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Razorbacks climbing back into this first set. Arkansas's third straight point. Wolschlager on a nice run.
And that was just Zoe Hill, the freshman for Kansas middle blocker, her first error of the match.
Wheelie goes back to Rigdon. Brianna Jones was there for Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas is very capable and a great run for them. And this is just the wall. Volsky is a great blocker. You can see that's her left hand pushing that ball back in, not being fooled, keeping in on Madison Rigdon because she was so dynamic last night. 18 kills for the Jayhawks. Thinking, well, if you're going to go to a player, they might get bailed out by Madison Rigdon, but they weren't fooled.
Avili quickly to Payne, who ends the Arkansas run. Big point there from Kelsey Payne. So it'll be Madison Rigdon to serve. And Rigdon pulls out an ace.
And what's difficult about Madison Rigdon's serve is she's a jump float, but it also has some spin, and it spins away from you. So you can see that's why that ball got away from Volsky. It just hits her arm, and it ricocheted into the stands is because it had some spin, like inside out, and she couldn't control.
Jason Watson wants a timeout as Kansas serves up its ace and takes a 22-19 lead here in the opening set. What have you seen out of Kansas? They weren't really tested against Chicago State. Maryland gave them a very good opening set, and Kansas had to battle a little bit against the Terrapins. What have you seen with Kansas thus far this season?
I think it's just shoring up little things. Like head coach Ray Bouchard said, he goes, we let a ball come on a free ball that just dropped. And it's early in the season with preseason. It's just getting those and then adjusting to some new players. Zoe Hill's now a new middle blocker for the Jayhawks as Janae Hall's no longer in that position. Also, graduating Tiana Dockery. You don't realize how much she did for the Jayhawks, one of their pin players, a senior. They lost her graduation until she's not on the floor. She was a 6-rotation player who could get on a string of aces, bail them out with some swings. So who's going to come in? And you're relying on a freshman. And right now, they're doing that by committee on the pin player with Jada Burst and then Patricia Montero. So we're going to see who's going to settle in, and they're going to get a rotation set. But I don't think they're completely set on what they're doing and all those rotations. Of course, they have so many returners, and quite the returning core, and Kelsey Payne and Nisa Havili and Cassie Waite and Madison Rigdon, of course. But I think it's those two pieces and working together as a whole that'll continue to mesh and evolve.
All right, Rigdon serves it up again. Again aggressively. Volsky was there. Rigdon from the back row.
And we saw that they were utilizing the back row mostly with Tiana Dockery. This is something that I think Madison Rigdon does so well. She sees that block. They put up 3 blockers, but she sees there's a bit of a seam, and she gets right after it.
Cassie Waite dives and saves it with the right hand. First plays it over. Cassie Waite dives. Brianna Jones is there to put it away.
And if you put a foot tracker on how far Cassie Waite dug that first ball to that ball that she just touched there, I mean, they're at least 20 feet inside of that. But you can see a good pickup, just unable to hold on to it. But I asked her, I said, Cassie, what do you want to improve on? You had such a great year. She goes, I want to improve and extend my range. Well, she does that. I mean, she has such tremendous range. She basically covers that entire side of the floor.
She must be able to go in the 5th row of the stands. Payne pounds away, and that ball floats wide. Set points now for Kansas. Wait to serve it up. Kelsey Payne turns it back and gives the first set to Kansas, 25-20.
Wonderful adjustment by Kelsey Payne. She got used on a ball before, but she pushed that one back in, got her hands over as we take a good look at this, getting out there, pushing over, right back into the floor.
The Jayhawks take the opening set 25-20 over Arkansas. Still yet to drop a set in this early season. We're back with the second set after this. This broadcast is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. And brought to you by the Kansas Lottery. Dream bigger. Lee Fleisig, Jill Dorsey Hall with you in Lawrence, Kansas, as the Kansas Jayhawks have taken the first set over Arkansas. KU yet to drop a set in this early season. What's working right now for Kansas?
Well, they're just a bit more efficient, especially offensively, showing why in 2015 they led the nation in kills per set and assists per set. Hitting above 300 is an exceptional clip as a team, and that's exactly what they did in that first set, hitting 308. They had 2 team blocks. Arkansas, where they shine bright, was their 4 team blocks, which we knew that they had the ability to put up those numbers. There's just little things here or there. Arkansas had 2 balls where they were in the net, so 2 blocking errors. That kind of hurt them. But Arkansas is a team that can turn it on and increase their number. I think if they can get Harbin the ball a bit more. They did settle in with their middles, which was good, but it's going to be interesting to see how Arkansas responds after dropping that first set.
All right, Kansas on the right-hand side of your screen in the white, trimmed in crimson and blue, and Issei Havili serves it up to start the second set. Montero there for Kansas. Outside they go to Rigdon. Splits the seam, point to Kansas.
And a lot of the success that Kansas has is their defense behind the block. Not all the time do you have to get a team block, but it's how do you pick up and set your defense behind. Patricia Montero picks it up and in transition, Rigdon with the kill.
Off the ceiling, still in play. Chance for Kansas. Havili sets it quickly to the freshman Zoe Hill.
And when you're coaching youth volleyball, you say, get up early and be available for your setter if you're middle. Watch how quick she's up in the air. I mean, Issei Havili barely gets it out of her hand, and she's already swinging. I love the speed of that play, especially in transition from the freshman Zoe Hill.
Get up early and be available.
Be available. And one of the reasons be available is because you're going to freeze that middle blocker. She's going to jump with you, or at least have to respect you to stay on you.
Really goes outside to Rigdon, rolls it over. Rigdon again. Razorbacks are there. Rigdon saves it with a left hand. Payne plays it over. Chance for the Razorbacks. Hill and Payne turn it back.
That was a pinball machine block. And you guys say, I'm not going to give on this play if you're Kelsey Payne. Don't just come down and try to dig that. Go up. Put your hands over. Use that height. Use that length. Use that jump to your advantage. It's exactly what she did. She closed late, but she was still able to get the block.
Cassie Waite there for Kansas. Rigdon. Walschlager was there for Arkansas. Cassie Waite sends it over to Payne. Payne going for the back line, just long.
So often last year, didn't we see that play with Cassie Waite stepping in a secondary set and that one hitting the back row, just misses it. But you got to love the attack too from Kelsey Payne and the secondary set from Cassie Waite. She does such a great job at that.
Savannah Volsky serves. Payne up high, puts it away off Volsky.
We talk about elite players in the country. Kelsey Payne is one of those. Why? Well, she can hit over the top of the block. Even if you put up 3 blockers, she has the ability to go up. I like to say she climbs a ladder and gets up, looks where she wants to hit, and then decides where to go.
Rigdon with a powerful serve. Hill was there along with Payne. Rigdon from the back row rolls it over. Havili with a nice save. Razorbacks with a chance. But it's Payne who turns it back.
And that one just feels good. You feel that in your entire body. I mean, you got to get a smile, Kelsey Payne, out of that one. How about that? Saying, I'm going to push, I'm going to clamp, and I'm going to press over, and you have nowhere to go. That was a great one for the high right rail if you're Kelsey Payne.
Great angle there. It gives you an idea of the phone booth that she can put you in. Rigdon plays it off the curtain, still alive. Cassie Waite somehow got it.
Oh, man.
Rigdon sends it over. Great effort from the Jayhawks. Payne saves it. Jada Burse goes long.
And you're up. I love that. Bird is clapping, the associate head coach, saying that is energy and effort that is unmatched. I mean, Kansas, that's what they've done time and time again. Tips off of the cap to you, Cassie Waite.
Where are you going to put it that she can't get
the
it?
endless pursuit to get the ball. You got to love it.
Burse, long again. You know, they used to say in tennis, even if you run down a ball that you don't make a play on, the fact that you're there and you make the play sometimes is disheartening to your opponent. Is it the same in volleyball when you've got somebody on the other side that will just track down everything?
Yes, because you don't feel like you can see the hit the floor, and that gets very discouraging to your opponents. Kansas has this theme this season of grit, and I definitely think that's when perseverance and effort come together. And I think if you're looking for someone to portray that, look no further than Cassie Waite.
As tough as they come, Kansas up 6-3 now. Cassie Waite will serve it. Just long.
And that was wonderful court awareness from the Razorbacks. Following that one all the way back, Volsky, I saw, and Harbin talking to each other, tracking, in, out, talking. They had some time as that one was going for the deep corner.
That's a tough call, isn't it? Where you just never know when the bottom is going to fall out. And
yeah, I mean, barely missed.
Rippey serves. Avili sets it for Burse. Payne got a hand on it, but it falls down to the court, and Arkansas has cut this lead now to 6-4.
And if you get a good pass, I think you're going to utilize Taylor Susie in this rotation. See if she can get you out on a side attack if you're Kansas.
Avili has to track it down. Burse plays it over. Point to KU.
Double contact, yeah,
there.
that one's coming out of Rippey's hands. Double contact clearly seen. Good call from the up official. Does bail Kansas out, though. So if you're Arkansas, you had a chance there to knot it up.
Payne serves. Cassie Waite with a left hand. Point to Arkansas.
And that's Kansas in the net, but Cassie Waite just picks up another one with her left hand. Seems how she just scoops it up. Already 11 digs in this match early on in set number 2.
The strength it takes to be able to turn a ball back when it's on the outside of your hand, when your arm is extended like that, is just incredible. Taylor Susie. Susie swings away. Rippey was there. That time it's Jada Burse turning it back.
And the physicality of Jada Burse, I think, is what's going to be important for the Jayhawks, because she can provide a wall up there with her block. And associate head coach Bird on the sidelines talking to the freshman, saying, you know, just offensively, I think, how to settle in, make some adjustments when she's out there on her next 3 rows in the front row. But Patricia Montero, the other freshman, redshirt freshman, is going to substitute and play her back 3 rows.
It was Avili and Susie that time for Kansas.
And Kansas going up. And it's the timing together in unison that's so critical for the Jayhawks.
Montero with another aggressive serve. Cassie Waite there to cover. Savannah Volsky of Arkansas.
Volsky yesterday registering her first double-double. She is playing in the 6 rotation spot, but goes after the line. You got to think Anissa Havili is the more undersized blocker. She's going to go and attack those hands, maybe try to use them and swipe them off. Good adjustment from Volsky after getting blocked to get a kill.
Valle puts it into the net. Point to Kansas. Maggie Anderson back into serve. Point to Kansas. Lift called there.
It was a back row attack, actually, because Rachel Rippey, they run a 6-2 system, so she's always from the back row. So she went over, the ball went over on 2, so that was considered a back row attack.
Kansas up 11-7. Anderson sets it for Rigdon. Montero and Hill were both there and knocks it out of play. Adrian Walschlager. The senior puts it in play. Avili wants Rigdon. Avili to Rigdon again. Avili dumps it over. Nice save from Ortiz. Payne swings away. Cassie Waite. Rigdon. Payne from the back row. Nice stick from Payne. Finally, it's Zoe Hill who ends it for Kansas.
And everybody take a deep sigh as that rally seemed to go on forever. Everyone was working hard, and Zoe Hill doesn't have to get much, but she gets enough. More about placement there than power.
Kelsey Payne with 7 kills, but 7 digs as well. She's working hard in that back row, isn't she?
As I mentioned, the third match in 2 days. Sometimes you're going to see some of these long rallies as the match goes on, unable to get the ball down. But just both these teams are working hard, perhaps not putting as much pace on the attack. There's some pace there. That's athleticism. That
Cassie Waite with a nice dig, and Payne puts it away.
And on 2 as well. So you eliminated the setter because the dig was on top of the net. So Kelsey Payne says, well, I didn't transition. I'm just going to go ahead and attack that one. I don't need you to set me, and you say on that ball.
All right. Kansas leads at 13-8. Arkansas wants a timeout to talk about it. The Jayhawks took the first set and lead here in the second from Lawrence, Kansas on ESPN. Welcome back to Lawrence, Kansas, where the Kansas Jayhawks took the first set against Arkansas and lead here in the second, 13-8. Lee Fleisick, Jill Dorsey Hall with you, and Kelsey Payne, 8 kills, 7 digs. She's really having quite a match.
Yeah, 4 blocks as well. I think it's been impressive. They utilized her on the back row, and gotta love to see her defense on the back court. That's something that she's added to her repertoire this season, being a 6 rotation player.
Avili with a nice dig. Waite sends it across. Waite sends it back to Rigdon. Avili trying to save it for her Jayhawks, but it'll be point Arkansas.
And he says, you got to give me room to set that second contact, but I think the ball did cross the plane of the net.
Savannah Volsky. Avili sends it over to Rigdon. Rigdon again. This time blocked out of bounds.
So I didn't swipe you the first time. I'm going to go ahead on the second time and get a little bit more angle. As you can see, with her hand, it's like a racket. If she just swipes off the block, exactly what she wanted to do. I love the decision from Havili to give her the ball back-to-back on that play. Rigdon
serves, and it's a rocket. Burst got a hand on it. A little too quick there for Zoe Hill. Ronna Jones steps back for the Razorbacks. Avili goes to Payne. Avili gets a right hand on it. Rigdon from the back row. That's just long.
And we're going to see if Coach Watson uses a challenge here. They think they got a touch. So, yes, he's going to pull that. So I think what he would challenge is that there was a touch at the plane of the net. So let's take an eye and see if we can see it from Kansas. I believe so. But you have him. You might as well use him, especially since midway through this second set, down a set. You trust your teammate, your players at this point, saying you thought there was a touch. They were calling for it, so he's going to go ahead. And you have 3 of them in the match. You can't take them back, but what you challenge, so say if it was in or out, but you have to challenge what you say. If it was a touch, they're only looking at the touch, and there might have been a touch, actually. When a different angle and slowing it down. You don't know if there's enough to overturn that.
Hard to tell. Are you looking at the rotation of the ball at that point to see if it just changes perhaps slightly?
And sometimes at the plane of the net, you can see their hands come back when they're up there. But they have 2 monitors. They're going to take a.
What's the danger of listening to your player on a challenge? The Maryland coach was telling us before the match. He listened to one of his seniors last night, right?
He did, but you got to trust him. I mean, sometimes different eyes and on it, especially sometimes I think with challenges, you utilize them to just slow down the momentum of their opponent. So perhaps that's another reasoning for this. He hasn't used one thus far. If you don't use them, you waste them. And look, I think it's kind of indecisive, but I think the call stands if there isn't clear and convincing evidence.
You can see that official scrolling back and forth over that play right at the net, trying to see perhaps if that ball changes rotation or if there's a finger that moves on the Kansas side.
Maybe a fingernail. Let's see what he's going to call. He's going to say out, no touch.
Point stays with Kansas. Ray Bouchard with the challenge of the year thus far, and I think that one will hold up. He saved the first set for KU against Maryland last night. Rolled to a straight sets win. That was a big challenge.
It was, because that would have let Maryland win that first set. The teams are almost switching sides, and then Coach Bouchard calmly walks over, pulls up the challenge, sets it down, and then Kansas was able to roll the next 2 points to win that first set and eventually sweep the Terrapins.
Susie and Payne were there, but just can't get it out of the net. Point to Arkansas. Rachel Rippey will serve it up, the freshman.
And this is the rotation that Kansas struggled with a bit. The last 3 rows when Jada Burst and Taylor Susie were up live with Anissa Havili. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust.
Rigdon to Havili. Payne. No adjustment needed.
This is actually the next rotation. I was wrong, but that one was good because Kelsey Payne now is going to rotate to the back row, as she was still available in this rotation. So she gets up. Sometimes she looks like she's hitting the ball on her way down. She can get so high up in the air.
Payne with an ace.
Does a little 360 turn as a celebration. See, this is a floater that looks like it's going to sail out of bounds, and it just falls down right in the nick of time.
They put that one in the net, so it'll go back to Arkansas. 17-12 Kansas here in the second set. Danielle Harbin for Arkansas. Bailey tracks it down. Rigdon swings from the back row. Wait, Havili, Susie. Nice save from the Razorbacks. Payne with a good dig. Susi. Havili stabs it with the right hand. Payne there again. Payne unable to reach that one, and it's point to Arkansas.
A wonderful battle from the Razorbacks. That rally extends long, back and forth, both sides making solid plays, and this is just a smart shot. Taking a bit off of it, you could tell the Kansas walk was coming down on their descent from going up in the air, so that's what led for that ball sneaking through.
Really to Susi.
And it's a net violation from the Razorbacks, but regardless, that ball was going to hit the floor. It's Taylor Susi. What a gorgeous set. I mean, not even body, not even facing the normal way, but still gets a ball in the complete area where Taylor Susi needs it to attack.
Patricia Montero now for Kansas, up 18-13. Long.
You hear the KU fan says, the crowd disagrees with that call, but no challenge raised from Coach Bouchard.
I think Bob Bucher would say, he missed the tag. That KU fan sitting back to our right, he had a longer angle at it than we did even. Blocked there by the Razorbacks. Witrone, the freshman.
And a big smile. You can see she's settled in. It's big swing block, pressing over the net. A great time. No ability to Kansas for even to pick up that and cover their hitter.
Valle serves into the net. Kansas now up 19-15.
And the beauty of Maggie Anderson subbing in right now for the Jayhawks is she's a serving specialist, a backup setter. So if Anise ever has to take the first ball, she can step in and use her hands.
Off the Kansas hands and into the stands. Volke with a nice kill.
I think Volsky's done a great job for the Razorbacks stepping in as they're still missing their preseason all-SEC performer Pilar Victoria due to injury. I think they're going to get her back, perhaps in time before SEC play starts, as they were preseason picked to finish 5th in the conference. But she takes such a heavy load, but I think Volsky's done a great job for them.
Really dumps it down with the left hand.
Man, she doesn't use it often, but when she does, she makes sure she can get that one through. As Anise Havili going up with her left hand with some pace. She just uses her peripheral vision so well, knowing where the blockers are, seeing the other side of the floor.
(2017) now, Kansas on top.
I just looked at Anise's parents up in the stands, and I could see her mom just kind of go, oh, dang it, Anise, missed that serve. She's so fun to talk to, so supportive, love their family.
Really goes back to Rigdon. Volsky with a nice dig. Cassie Waite sets it for Rigdon. Blocked right back. Arkansas's 1-2 punch there. Brianna Jones, Danielle Harbin.
Well, happy belated birthday, Danielle Harbin. I know she was celebrating a birthday. Sheer athleticism, great tandem. Two seniors in Jones and Harbin putting up a major wall for the Razorbacks, and they have such a front line right now. If you look at the job pitch, Harbin and Jones.
Payne off the hands. It's going to be called for being in the net.
The same
now
spot.
It's 2019.
Yeah, same spot we were in the first set as KU gets a lead, and then they let Arkansas back in it. And Arkansas fighting and clawing their way back in. So you're pleased if you're head coach Watson.
Wade unable to hand it. And now we're even at 20. Ray Bouchard wants a timeout. 3 straight points now for the Razorbacks. Look at the numbers now between these two teams, Kansas and Arkansas. The Jayhawks appear to be pulling away here in the second set, but Arkansas has fought back to tie it at 20 all.
Yeah, and Kansas just out killing them, out digging them. You know, Arkansas, though, has that team block, category 1. That's the differentiator there. But it's been late in the middle, the meat of the second set. It's been serving aggressive for Arkansas. Very normal to see Cassie Wake give up an ace. You just saw that. So we're going to see how out of this timeout, you know, you look at this match, it's a match to 5 now at this point. So who's going to come out here? You practice this a lot of time when you're in the gym saying, hey, it's 20-all, or sometimes the coach will give you, you know, you're down 18-20. What do you do? What are you going to do? How are you going to lock down? And what defense is going to show up, and who is going to be the aggressor? So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams respond, as Kansas was looking to run away with that second set. But the veteran squad of the Razorbacks says not too fast. We're going to stay in here, and we're going to fight for this one.
Arkansas beat Chicago State here in Lawrence, lost to Maryland. Kansas has yet to drop a set this season. But the Jayhawks getting a battle here in the second set. We'll find libero, Cassie Wait, awaiting the serve from Savannah Volsky.
And both teams have really their high-powered offensive players on the front row. Harbin for Arkansas and Payne for Kansas.
Rigdon. Cassie Wait. Rigdon again. Rolls it across. Rigdon with a changeup.
And those are the type of plays I think Madison Rigdon is making this year in her junior campaign that we didn't see as much last season, but she's so crafty, knowing when to do it, and also having the confidence and the vision to do it.
Now Rigdon will step back and serve. Long, we're even at 21.
Now Kansas 7 service errors and only 3 aces. So that's a category that's caused a bit of concern for the Jayhawks in this match.
Wait to Havili. Rigdon from the back row. Schleger was there. Tough angle goes to Kansas. Now it's Cassie Wait with a 1-point edge.
And Jada Burst, the freshman for the Jayhawks, outside hitter, is going to be called upon now to maybe perhaps take some big swings late in the second set.
Rigdon covers for Kansas. To Payne. Blocked back. Jopic of Arkansas brings it even at 22.
And Jopic not fooled. They kept Kelsey Payne out on the outside position, and Jopic just pressing over. That's just too good. I mean, that is a great block from the Razorbacks.
Havili. The freshman bursts. Cassie Wait off the ceiling, still alive. That's a bad break for Kansas. It bounced off the ceiling and picked up speed. It was coming back down. So now it's Arkansas with the edge, 23-22, and Kansas wants a timeout.
I give a lot of credit to the Razorbacks. They were the aggressor on this play. Just a strong firepower, really, that swing from Danielle Harbin, your veteran outside hitter for the Razorbacks. She just went after that, caused too much velocity. Cassie Wait unable to hang it, and the ricocheted off the ceiling. So Kansas once again pressed in this second set as they had a pretty commanding lead. Let Arkansas back in it, and now here we go. Arkansas up by 1. And Rachel Rippey from the service line, who's a tremendous server for the Razorbacks. So she's going to go back there and be aggressive.
You talk about the grit from Kansas. Arkansas has shown some toughness here in this second set.
And you got to think, they have 7 seniors out of their 14 players. So they're a veteran team, and they have also played in Lawrence. They're used to this facility. They're pretty comfortable here as well. They played here yesterday, their first 2 matches. So sometimes when you go on the road and you go in your first match, you have to get acclimated. They didn't need to do that. They were very well acclimated here. And if you're Kansas, it's been a breakdown a little bit with server Steve, and Issei really hasn't had all options trying to get out of side out. So we'll see if they can shore that up with a nice pass up to their setter. And I think Rachel Rippey, the freshman setter for Arkansas, has had a good afternoon.
Big point here. Rigged into Havili. Payne. That one finds the court. Danielle Harbin gives Arkansas set points.
Yeah, back-to-back kills from Harbin, just getting after it, understanding the angle. That ball was pushed out very far to the antenna. She changed her body, nice body control to get that one and go after the angle that you were given.
3 straight points for the Razorbacks. Havili goes to Susie. Kansas fights off one.
Arkansas still with set point, though, but you got to love this attack from your senior to bail you out. Just too much angle to pick up on the back row for Rippey.
Now Tori Miller to serve. Facing set point. Jada Burse is across the plane. Point goes to Arkansas. And second set to the Razorbacks. The Jayhawks lose their first set of this season, and Arkansas evens this match at a set apiece. We're back with a third set after this from Lawrence, Kansas on ESPN3. This broadcast brought to you by UPS. Stay up to date on what's happening with your deliveries when you sign up at ups.com/mychoice. And by Lawrence Memorial Hospital, proud sponsor of Kansas Women's Athletics. Stay healthy, stay close, stay for life with LMH. Lee Fleisig, Jill Dorsey Hall with you as Kansas loses its first set of the season, 25-23 to Arkansas after the Jayhawks were up 20-16 in that second set.
Yeah, they had a lead. Arkansas back in it. They had a couple nice blocks. And then late in that set, Danielle Harbin, their senior, 6 kills, 2 blocks. I thought did a wonderful job just to lead her Razorback squad. That, you know, when they needed a kill, they went to her and she got them back to back late in the second set. But if you're Kansas, you're up 20-16 on your home floor. You just can't let them back in it, and they did. So give a ton of credit from the veteran squad for Arkansas to fight your way and not give up. They could have went away, but they didn't. So now, hey, we're all knotted one set apiece. You never know what's going to happen. And now Arkansas has some confidence, and deservingly so.
Adrian Walschlager serves it up. Third set is underway. The Jayhawks look for Zoe Hill, but that ball is long.
Didn't get a full reach at that one, so unforced error from the Jayhawks.
Hill there with a misdirection. Rigdon down the line. Nice save by Harbin. Payne. Valle with a nice save. Nikolsky puts it in the antenna, point to Kansas.
That's the only thing Volsky could do is try to, she was off 1 foot trying to get that ball over, but Payne high flying hitting that one, but nice dig from Valle on the back row of the libero for the Razorbacks to keep that ball alive. And both of these teams working hard, so we're going to have a break in the action as the Razorbacks wipe up some sweat, some perspiration on the floor.
All right, so it's Madison Rigdon for Kansas now. Wait to Payne. Good save by the Jayhawks. Zoe Hill able to turn that one back.
The music jump around is playing as Zoe Hill says, I can jump for you. That's something I do pretty good.
Rigdon just a little too low. She had an ace last night that tickled the tape and just dropped over on the other side.
At a critical time in that third set. I think it was 24 or 23 all when she got that ace to fall.
Volsky serves. Avili wants Payne. Volsky there to cover. Big hit from Danielle Harbin, the senior.
Yeah, the senior Harbin for Arkansas is getting hot. And she just has so much power behind her attack. Let her drive to the ball. And you know you can get it in front of Cassie Way. You hit it at a good angle.
Volsky serving. Hill and Montero were there. Thought they'd enter the point. Hill this time does.
You can tell, though, as this match goes on, it's getting more difficult for either team to find the floor. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to work. Kansas has been known to a team to just outwork their opponent. Zoe Hill takes the ball high and then gets right to her attack in transition. Gets rewarded by getting the set from Havili.
Danielle Harbin had to kind of double clutch there for just a second, but still able to get plenty on that ball.
Yeah, that's just a veteran play. Having nothing and making something out of nothing, does Danielle Harbin. Bree Jones comes back with a big smile. She's a fun one to watch. She's had a great career, and I know head coach Jason Watson for the Razorbacks has been pleased with her in preseason and in two-a-days.
Payne with a soft touch. Really to Susie. Montero there. Back out to Montero. Point goes to Kansas. Violation on Arkansas. Because it's difficult sometimes. Arkansas has plenty of seniors. A new coach comes in with a senior squad. Obviously, he's looking to the future, but he has a good crew of seniors that sometimes can be tough on a senior class, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But you got to think they definitely have the talent. I mean, this is a team. As many of these players were freshmen, they went to the NCAA tournament. Some of them were starting at that point. I remember watching, Bree Jones and Alan Fieldhouse when we covered that match as a freshman, and Barbara Jopic, another one of those players. So they definitely have the talent, but it's just changing the chemistry and the culture, I think, of the program, and just his coaching style that you have to get used to and make that adjustment.
Avili sets it for Susie. Volsky is there. Nice dig from Rigdon. Montero puts it away. Kansas looking for a little energy now, a little excitement. And Montero maybe brings it.
And you have to have some of those energy plays. And it starts with that pickup, that defensive pickup that led to that play in transition from Madison Rigdon on the back row, getting her fingernails, and Montero just making a smart play. That's one of the things she's going to bring. She's going to bring consistency. She's not going to make very many errors while she plays.
A pretty good serve, too. Anna Sophia Jusino.
Jusino is flying. And I talk about the connection between Rachel Rippey and her middles. This is one of those examples of that. See how high that is? She can fly. So get that ball up to her. Almost similar to the adjustment we saw last season with Kelsey Payne. Just having to get her a higher ball where she can hit that contact point.
Payne lets that one sail by. Point to Kansas. We're even at 6. Good serve from Anderson. Hill got a hand on it. Rigdon. Wide from Kansas.
That was a play that Kansas made last night in transition, getting that ball picked up. Madison Rigdon didn't miss too often with 18 kills in the evening, but Arkansas now back up by 1. They'll take those unforced errors.
Avili dumps it over the left hand.
If you had to put a word to describe Anissa Havili, you'd put the word compete. I mean, she's just going to compete and compete and compete and drive. Saying, hey, I'm going to just get my team out of this. I'm going to go get this side out for them. Using her left hand with some authority.
We'll go back to Arkansas. Now the Razorbacks up 8-7.
And when you're serving, if you can stay close to that 1-to-1 ace to air ratio, you're pretty happy right now. Kansas with 9 service errors, only 3 aces. So that's an area where they've been aggressive, but they've missed too many serves.
Avili wants the freshman Zoe Hill, but it's point to Arkansas.
And Arkansas not fooled by that play. They run this often, a double quick in the middle, and Jopic stays who she is responsible for, and that's the attack of Zoe Hill. One-on-one, but gets it. Not just a senior play and being disciplined.
Avili to Payne. Nice dig from Ortiz. Payne goes up higher this time.
And there it is, Kelsey Payne. Get her the ball, get it to her high where she can go up. It's a quick ball, but see how high up she gets. She said, okay, let's go. And that's kind of one of those plays. Let's see if we can get some things rolling now.
Outside, the Razorbacks go to Jopic. And Arkansas is not going away.
Oh, and they have their senior high flyer, Daniel Harbin, checking back into the game. So that's good news for the Razorbacks.
Avili quickly goes to Zoe Hill.
And you're spot on. It was quick. That's what happened on that play, and that's why Arkansas unable to control that play. The set was quick. The attack was quick. Now let's see if Taylor Susie can get involved with a couple blocks. Sometimes she comes in, provides that spark.
Montero and Taylor Susie. Did you call that one?
I did. I called it. I knew it. Sometimes she just has this look in her eyes. She says, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make this happen. So she goes up as they pair together. She said, let's go. You can see, and Coach B says oftentimes, she drives the energy bus for us. I mean, she's just bringing it constantly.
JDH looking into her crystal ball there. Outside, Danielle Harbin wins the one-on-one matchup.
And she's a fun player, isn't she? A senior going up against Kelsey Payne. Well, that's
dynamic,
no easy task. And she says, I'm still going to get it through. I'm going to power it through.
Susie. Olski was there. Payne pushes it back across. Chance for Kansas. Avili to Payne. Kansas brings it even to 11.
And what I love about this play is that it's deep third in the floor. So all the Razors, as a rally goes on, sometimes you get in the court. You start to sneak in. You get closer to the net. And then she says, well, that deep corner is open, so I'm going to go ahead and place the ball nicely there.
11th kill for Kelsey Payne. Susie pounds away on the overpass. Kansas takes the lead, 12-11.
And the loudest cheer we've heard for a while from this home crowd. Just easy, snappy, keeping her hand high. That's critical for a middle blocker. Keep her hands high while you're on the net waiting for it, and that way you're just able to gather, get up, and snap it over.
Susie again. Taylor Susie has given him a big spark.
She has, absolutely. And that's what you want, you love, and you expect from Taylor Susie, a local talent hailing from Osawatomie, Kansas, the female sports person of the year in the Big 12. What an honor for her, as she's so good academically, involved in the community.
And then it's Payne with an ace. Kansas now with 4 straight points. And Arkansas wants a timeout. Jason Watson trying to slow the Kansas rally as the Jayhawks have now jumped out to a 14-11 lead.
And it's been under the wing of Taylor Susie, the senior middle blocker for the Jayhawks. 7 kills, no errors on 19 attempts, hitting .368. Also involved in 4 blocks. And it was that one key block where she teamed up with Patricia Montero that really led this spark. And also great serving from Kelsey Payne, a skill that we didn't see her freshman year. She added it sometimes last year, but really definitely doing that this season as she's a complete 6-rotation player.
So the Jayhawks, who dropped their first set of this young season in the second, now take the lead 14-11 in the third. We saw a little bit of this in that second set where Kansas was able to jump out to a lead and Arkansas fought back. What does Kansas have to do to avoid this third set?
Yeah, you just got to keep on with your serve and pass. In the game of volleyball, everything, in my opinion, starts with serve and pass. If you don't have your first contact locked down, it's the game much harder. And you can see the breakdown actually in first contact for Arkansas is what's caused some issues. Their setter's been off the net, unable to get the ball, a good attack on it, which has led to some of the Kansas success right now.
Spoken like a true libero, right?
That's right. I love it. Pass and serve. Before every match, that's what teams do. As shoot around in basketball, when you go on and you warm up and you shoot, you have to have a pure shot. With volleyball, you come in and you do pass and serve to get acclimated to the gym. But it's just one of those things where you got to be spot on with pass and serve.
Susie was there for Kansas. Avili for Susie. Taylor Susie has taken over.
And she's just working. She got her hands over on that. Arkansas gets it back over, but she's just working. And Havili to have the know-how to say, hey, you're the hot hand. I'm just going to keep feeding it.
5 straight points for Kansas now. This rally has taken them out to a 15-11 lead. Payne just misses long.
Arkansas gets bailed out as Kansas was on a roll. From the missed serve from Kelsey Payne. Now their 10th service error. And Rachel Rippey's going to substitute in the freshman, and she's got a dynamic serve.
Just led Arkansas on several nice runs. Montero, Avili, Susie, soft touch.
Great effort from Volsky to even get a hand on that. She got a pancake, but it just ricochets into the stand. But gotta like the effort from the senior, Savannah Volsky.
Both sides showing a lot of determination here. Kansas now up 4. Montero with the bullet. Danielle Harbin, as she's done so many times, just pounds it through the block.
And Arkansas can play some high-level volleyball, and I know Coach B told us that yesterday. He said, at times they controlled Maryland, and Maryland pressed Kansas. So it was interesting to see how Arkansas is going to respond. You got to think with its 7 seniors and a lot of talent, they just need one match to go their way, to get a big key win, especially on the road against a top 4 team in the country. They definitely are a much better team than what their record indicates at 1-4.
Ray Bouchard knew his team would be in for a battle. This has turned into a nice little rivalry with Arkansas, hasn't it, over the years?
Yeah, a lot of the players consider Arkansas their sister school, because they've matched up so often the last couple seasons. And also, in the quad, as Kansas have hosted the NCAA tournament, Arkansas has been sent here to play in the NCAA tournament a couple times.
Volsky gets it off the hands, brings the Razorbacks to within 3. Really going quickly to Hill. Volsky. Hill there to block it.
What do you really appreciate is this press late. Watch how she presses over and see how she does. Like she extends her shoulders over. She almost, extends up through and presses over. Great job from the freshman.
Feely with a nice dig. Outside to Payne. Payne finds the court. Nice angle.
And you think off that secondary set, there's no way she might even get this. It looks like it's going to go fly out of bounds. But Kelsey Payne says, oh, you're going to put it up that high. I'm just going to have to jump a little bit higher.
You don't have to ask how she's feeling, do you? Volsky pushes across. Avili is there. Payne again. This time Rippey is there to dig it. The Jayhawks now with their third straight point.
A solid dig from Rippey. They picked that ball up. Volsky doesn't get it over, but now Kansas has a bit of breathing room in this third set.
Jason Watson wants a timeout. How about Taylor Susie? When she came on the court, you said maybe provide a spark. She's done exactly that.
Yeah, she has. And this quick ball behind, working in transition, getting up and early. It's a great vision on that play to tap it right over, up high with a big snappy on the overpass. And then that's the play that started it all. She's teamed up with Montero and said, hey, let's go right now. Let's get some separation. And the senior leadership has been a phenomenal player throughout her career here at Kansas. Remember when she played under the wings of Caroline Jarmock as a freshman? And she's seen a lot of playing time throughout her career. She knows that this is her last go. I mean, every match as she goes on, one match off, her senior campaign, she wants to marvel in it. I love my time last year coming back from San Diego when they were able to up in USC to go to the Final Four. I sat next to her on the plane, actually, and she was studying. And you would think they were up late. They've been up all night. What was Taylor Susie doing? She was studying for a final. It just goes to show you the type of student athlete and a tremendous representation she is for the university.
Sportswoman of the Year in the Big 12. And one of the big reasons why. Tremendous athlete, tremendous student. Avili serves. Cassie Wade gets a right hand on it. Back to Rigdon. Avili with a dig. Payne. Valle was there. And Savannah Volsky, who puts it away. She's had a heck of a match, hasn't she?
She has. It was a solid side out of the timeout as the rally goes on. But if you have four arms up there, you want to go after the seam and the two players. And that's where she executes that play.
Avili quickly to Zoe Hill. Kansas now by 6. Rigdon off the tape. Too low from Jopic. Kansas now 3 points away from this third set. (22-16) now. Volsky puts it in play. Avili. Quickly to Hill. But Brianna Jones and her Razorbacks able to send it back on the Kansas side.
And Jones has provided great blocking for the Razorbacks. She's involved in 8 blocks for the Razorbacks. They have 10 team blocks.
Payne brings Kansas to win 2 points in the third set.
Kelsey Payne had enough. She didn't like losing that second set. She's like, okay, no, enough of that. And now Taylor Susie is back in for the Jayhawks. She was that spark midway through this second set to get that separation.
Harbin unable to connect.
When the Razorbacks get Pilar Victoria back, I mean, they're going to be a good squad, a really solid team. And they're missing her play, but you have Harbin as one of your pins. She does some great things when she doesn't have much of anything. She finds a way to get a kill.
Susie. Too strong for Wolfschlager, and it's now set points for Kansas. Kelsey Payne with the serve. Not yet, say the Razorbacks. Danielle Harbin. She's done so many times. A big hit.
Her 12th kill of the match. She just rise up. Electric off the floor. The only Razorback to register in the double-digit category in kills this match.
Rippey serves it. Avili has to joust it. Chance for Kansas. Avili to Susie. Point to KU. 25-19. The Jayhawks battle back and take the third set. Kansas leads it 2-1. We're back with the fourth from Lawrence here on ESPN3. The Kansas Jayhawks take the third set, 25-19, and now lead Arkansas 2-1. Lee Fleissig, Jill Dorsey Hall with you. And how about the day from Kelsey Payne?
Yeah, when her team has needed her, she's risen to the challenge. 13 kills, hitting .258. Also, 9 digs and 4 blocks. So she's nearing a double-double in the afternoon. 2 aces as well. So pretty great stat line that we've grown accustomed to. The first-team All-American performer, Kelsey Payne.
We've really seen her getting up high and, as you always say, hitting over the block a couple of times today.
Yeah, and deep in the floor where there's nobody that can even defend that. Especially at the block. If you think of the first row of defense as the block, the second row of defense being the backcourt players, she puts it where none of the 6 players can get to, deep in the floor. So that's what makes Kelsey Payne tough to defend.
All right, it's Anise Havili to serve. Fourth set is underway. Arkansas gets the first point.
You know, Arkansas's challenge the Jayhawks, if it wasn't for that little push in the middle of that third set, it was knotted up at 11 all. And it was the difference in that third set was when Kansas went on a nice run. I got some separation.
Avili, Payne. Volsky was waiting for the hard one, and just a little bit of a change up there from Kelsey Payne.
Volsky could have ran through that one. I wasn't expecting that Kelsey Payne not to get all of it.
Volsky with 11 digs. Rickman serving aggressively, just missing. Brianna Jones. Avili to Payne. Saw that so many times last year when Kansas needed a big point.
And she has 2 blockers on her. I mean, they're staying with her, and she still gets it over.
Susie unable to save it after she and Patricia Montero got hands on it.
Because of this one just sneaks through. Taylor Susie. Talk about how high are you getting over, but also your press when you go up to block. And sneaks through the front of her as she was a little bit late on the press.
Payne drives it through the Arkansas block.
The same thing happened on that play. Kelsey Payne has 3 blockers up, but gets it through the front of the Razorback core.
Payne now with 16 kills. Susie there for Kansas. Susie again. Wade sets it for Payne in the back row.
And where some teams don't have to send that one over on a free ball, Kansas gets an attack. And they're able to do that because Kelsey Payne's on the back row. She can come and fly in. Wonderful set from Cassie Waite to put that ball up there where she can go get it.
Nice dig there from Payne. Montero swings. Chance for Kansas. Avili wants Montero. Rippey able to play it. An absolute shot from Danielle Harbin.
Explanation point from Harbin. And she's a gamer. She gets up, utilizing her on the back. That's a tough ball. You got to think that's a secondary set. She has to look over her head, over her left shoulder, wait for it to cross her body, and then rip at it.
Avili dumps it over. Valle was there. And Volsky with the kill.
And Arkansas.
The KU players trying to talk their coach into a challenge here, I think.
Arkansas first to 5 is maybe Bouchard's talking to, and they are going to challenge this. I love how these head coaches are just listening to his players. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
If you have 3 challenges, I trust what you're going to tell me right now. I think in that second set, they could have challenged that serve from Montero that went out. It might have been in. He decided not to use that challenge. Arkansas won that second set, so now perhaps he's thinking, I have 2 available.
As you always say, too, it serves 2 purposes. Also, a bit of a timeout, a chance to kind of gather, maybe reset, if you will.
I think this is something that the game of volleyball has needed, though. Just the ability to challenge. You think, gosh, in tennis you have it, or it's such a key aspect of the game. I mean, you have this white line, and it can matter. I mean, it really does. It can change the momentum. It can mean a match or mean a set and eventually a match like it did last night. Yeah. We saw that was completely the turning point.
And as the technology gets better and quicker, I think you'll see that more and more in sports across the U.S. Open in tennis has got it down. A player challenges, and within about 15 seconds, you've got an answer. An animation that shows you where the ball was, and then you move on. It's the stoppages in play that sometimes are tough. But so a point to Arkansas. 5-4. Bailey sets it for Susie. Susie was there for Kansas. Avili dumps it with the left hand.
And a pickup there from Kelsey Payne, just places it high for her setter to go up and get it with her left hand.
Avili has such a good feel for when to do that, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. And I think she just has tremendous peripheral vision, but just court sense. And that's good from playing the game.
Montero with the overpass. Susie pounded away, but Valle was there. Avili wants Susie. Cassie Waite. Montero back to the wall. Waite sends it over. Looking for Jusino. Just a little mistime there.
And we saw that yesterday, but they definitely shored it up. But I love the communication between the freshman and the senior afterwards. Just talk through that one. They'll get that one going. It just takes some time to mesh well with, you have a freshman setter coming in, working with the seniors.
Montero just missed her toss a little bit there, I think. 6-all. Susie. Valle there to cover. Susie blocks it. Kansas back on top.
From Taylor Susie, the senior. She's going to rotate out, but 11 kills, no errors. Involved with 5 blocks, for the Jayhawks. Quite the stat line, and she has no errors. I mean, she's been good, but she's also been very efficient.
Zoe Hill up big for Kansas. Volsky just missed that one.
And if you're Kansas, you want to settle in now and push. In this 4th set, you definitely don't want to extend this one to 5 because, as you know, in the game of volleyball, really anything can happen. Only playing to 15 in the 5th set.
Payne was there for Kansas. Montero with a block. Feely with a nice save. That one finds the back line. Good effort, though, from Anise Havili.
Yeah, effort on both sides of the floor. Arkansas fighting for that point. A long rally. I think you're going to see these in this 4th set. As I mentioned, both teams have the ability to play high-level volleyball. You're seeing that on both sides of the floor.
The Razorbacks able to turn it right back. Brianna Jones.
Well, it's been Jones at the net with her blocking ability. Involved in 9 of the 11 team blocks for the Razorbacks. So she's been a force.
And the freshman Zoe Hill puts it away for Kansas. You get the sense that the Jayhawks need a big play to really get this crowd back into it and kind of try to finish off here in the 4th set.
Yeah, it's been a little bit quiet in this 4th set, the crowd has been, but it changed up the zone in which they were attacking from. She got blocked the time before and made an adjustment.
Guess who? Brianna Jones.
Gives a little wink to her center, saying that's perfect, that's right where I need it. A one-on-one gets it past the blocking arm of Zoe Hill.
Too strong from Avili. And Arkansas now has come up to take the lead 10-9.
And it was Harbin with a shot that she took from the 10-foot line, rolling it in, and Havili dives in. I think Montero was there, able to play it.
Montero has to play it across. Chance for Arkansas. And Sophia Giussino for the Razorbacks.
I think that was Joppich on the right
it was
side.
Joppich. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. 3 straight points now for the Razorbacks.
When we talk about Kelsey Payne hanging over the top, that's exactly what Barbara Joppich does.
And an ace for the Razorbacks. Arkansas going on a run here. 4 straight points for Arkansas. And Ray Bouchard wants a timeout. Kansas leads 2-1, but they're down here in the 4th from Lawrence on ESPN3. Arkansas has taken a 12-9 lead here in the 4th set. They trail 2-1, but the Razorbacks in no hurry to get on the bus and turn around and go home, are they?
No, they're going to settle in and say, hey, we're here. We might as well enjoy the afternoon in Lawrence, Kansas.
Avili to Payne. Just when Kansas needed it, Kelsey Payne comes up big.
And they're driving. I like what Havili called for that play. She sent Zoe behind, with Kelsey Payne in front, and then you had your outlet for Montero on the 4.
Rigdon with an ace. Kansas with back-to-back big points.
Yeah, right back into it. And we didn't want her to miss that serve, but gosh, that ace right when you needed it. The 4th for the Jayhawks.
Rigdon with another hard serve, and that'll be an ace. 5 aces now for the Jayhawks.
Well, for Rigdon, she's been a tad quiet on the offensive end, but man, heating up when she needs to for her team. Back-to-back aces for the Jayhawks.
3 straight points for Kansas. Cassie Wade able to dig it. Really sends it back. Rigdon off the net. And now it's Kansas with the momentum.
And that's a tough ball to even get a swing at. That ball was spinning sideways, and she has to change the side spin, put top spin on the ball, gets it over, but I like how she was aggressive.
Off the tape. Montero. Big hit from the freshman.
And it's good to see Patty, as they call her, get going. And she sees the line, gets after it as Jopic gives her that width to go through.
No touch long, and that's 6 straight now for Kansas. Jason Watson senses that and calls a timeout. Madison Rigdon has gone on a nice service run here. A couple of aces. Kelsey Payne with a big hit.
And a 6-0 run out of that timeout. And looked like everything was going Arkansas's way. Up 12-9. Calls a timeout right out of it. They get a side out. Kelsey Payne has a kill. Back-to-back service aces. And then it's been a combo of defense. Cassie Waite with a great dig. Madison Rigdon with a dig. And then Montero getting involved. So every area of the floor for the Jayhawks. But give a ton of credit for Madison Rigdon going back, not missing a serve, serving aggressive, leading to a pair of aces.
Was that the key in this 6-0 run that Kansas has had 14 service errors in this match?
Not to miss, yeah.
But to go back there with the confidence to swing away and know that you need some aggressive serving.
Oh, well, that's something we see. Madison Rigdon's not going to be fearful. She's going to go back there, be fearless, and be confident and rip her serve. We've seen that from the time she stepped on campus in her freshman year. She's going to go back there and be the aggressor, and you got to like that. And when you needed them, you're not pleased with 14 service errors, but you're happy when she came up big with a pair of aces when her team needed it.
All right, see how Kansas responds out of this timeout now.
And I think
Montero, Payne, and Zoe Hill along the front line.
And I think if you're Arkansas, you get the ball to Harbin, and she's been an outlet for you to get you out of him scoring runs.
You've been spot on just about every time. Brianna Jones that time, but
or even better, right there, they're able to use the middle, and so they did it. And so you had a perfect pass. She was up. That will create some separation, though, for Harbin when they need to go to her if you keep feeding the balls to the middle.
That breaks the Kansas 6-0 run. Brianna Jones serves. Payne. Payne again. Just set it a little higher.
That's what you need. And we saw this last year. It said, Kelsey, I think you just jump higher the longer this match goes. And just, hey, I want to be done with this. Let's get out of here in 4. No need to go 5.
Football game at 6 o'clock.
That's right. You got to go get showered and changed and fed, perhaps.
Cassie Wade serves up 16-13. Wade digs that one out. Hard hit from Harbin. Valle counters with a nice dig. Valle again. Susie and Payne were there. Arkansas keeps it alive. Montero with a left hand. Susie kept it up, but it goes out of bounds.
What a fight from Arkansas on that play. Valle, the libero, gonna clean up the floor because she hit the deck a couple of times. Just taking the shots from the Jayhawks. Also covered her attacker when they needed to. And that's just persevering through a long rally.
And now it's Rippey to serve. Avili wants Susie. Avili digs it out to Payne. Kelsey Payne comes up bigger and bigger.
And you could hear a teammate say, just go get it. And that's what they do. Hey, we're going to throw it in the air pretty high. Let's just go get it and hit it in the deep corner.
20 kills now for Kelsey Payne. Off the Kansas block and out of bounds. 17-15 now Jayhawks.
And for the Razorbacks, you're excited from this weekend. I think the connection again from their middles has just grown. Yesterday it was a struggle. Today much better with Brianna Jones getting involved. Messino, when she's in there, she's hitting .556, 5 kills, no errors. And that's Avili in the net for the Jayhawks.
So now the Razorbacks to within 1. Does a trip sometimes bring a team together? Not only are you playing 3 matches in 2 days, but there's a lot of together time when you go on the road and play one of these tournaments. Maybe bring a team together a little bit.
Yeah, and just the connection, like I mentioned. They have a freshman setter. They have another senior setter that they're adjusting to as well. She didn't play as much last season, so having to get used to that. I think there was a touch.
Yeah,
This would
Montero
be a good one to
is
challenge for sure.
Immediately put her hands up saying there's a touch, and Ray Bouchard says, I'll listen. Let's give it a shot.
And I thought there was a touch when looking at the first angle of this.
It sure sounded like it. You know, that one happened right in front of us. Sometimes you just kind of hear that double click.
Yeah. You're wondering, though, if they're able to see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes a fingernail's tough to detect, but let's take a look at this.
Great angle
shot
here.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to see that one again. It's hard to tell.
Look at Taylor Susie, though. She was
both players
right
immediately
on
reacted.
it.
Exactly. Montero and Susie both put their hands up immediately.
But this is a pivotal point in this 4th set. See if we can take another look at it from a different angle.
Boy, it sure looked like maybe it hit a finger there, but
it looked like it hit the right hand of Messino as she went up. Her left hand, excuse me. I think it hit her left hand. That's
you see both players immediately raise their hands.
And Montero knew. I mean, she said, yes, she touched it, coach. I got you on this one.
But that also happened right in front of the up official, too. So
it's such a bang-bang play, though. That's tough. I think she's talking to Pilar, both hailing from Puerto Rico. Perhaps they're speaking in Spanish, I'm thinking, to each other. And no, it wasn't overturned.
Point's going to stay with Arkansas. And it could be a pivotal point in this 4th set. As we are at 17 all. Danielle Harbin to serve.
Sometimes they say the ball never lies, but I'm just going to.
I was going to leave that to you. The volleyball god said no. 18-17 Kansas. Patricia Montero to serve.
Back row.
That was a good one. Yeah,
that was a good one.
The serve set that one up.
It's going to be Rachel Rippey trying to get that one. A valiant effort from the freshman. Just too much to be able to control it on her side of the net. So back row attack as she runs a 6-2 system, always coming from the back row.
She goes right to the quick set. The Razorbacks come back 19-18 Kansas.
And you could just see them developing this. And they're getting that connection going. And she says, yeah, that's perfect. That's right where I need it.
Sophia Giussino with a kill.
Giussino has been 600 this afternoon, and she has absolutely had the hot hand for the Razorbacks.
Healy wants Rigdon. Rigdon splits the seam.
And Mad Dog Rigdon attacking the seam. Jones able to close a block for the Razorbacks.
Maggie Anderson puts it in play. Long that time from Brianna Jones. And now it's Kansas, 4 points away from the match.
And watch Maggie Anderson serve when she serves this ball. She has a jump float, and it has almost zero rotation on it. And it comes out of her hand, and it just floats. Oh, barely long. You thought that one was going to fall in. But she has perfected that jump float serve. That's what you look for, zero rotation.
Kind of a knuckleball in terms of
it's like diving
terms.
when you don't want, or knuckleball in baseball or diving, you don't want any splash. It's like you don't want any rotation when you jump float on the surface.
That's years of practice, isn't it? Rigdon, another big hit for the junior. Mad Dog comes up big, 22-19 Kansas.
And she's had periods where she's been a bit quiet, but when her teams needed it, she goes up, cuts it back through. 10 kills, now a double-double with 12 digs.
Off the Kansas hands. Jopic.
And Jopic with a smile, knowing that her team needed that to side out, get that ball back to their side. And this is quite the blocking core. You have Harbin, Jones, and Jopic. This is a tough front row that the Jayhawks are going up against.
Payne up high. Nice dig from Valle.
Yeah, beautiful.
Rigdon with a nice effort. But Kansas can't get it over, and Arkansas now within one.
Here we are. The crowd comes alive right now. And exactly, they're getting a little bit louder to try to help their Jayhawks as they're in a dogfight right now with the Razorbacks.
Avili's going to go to Rigdon. Cassie Waite saves it with the right hand. Zoe Hill plays it out of the net. Rigdon keeps it alive. But Arkansas is too strong right now. 22-all. And a timeout for head coach Ray Bouchard of Kansas.
Man, Daniel Harbin just says, hey, you want to get after this one, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to swing. I'm going to be the aggressor. Wonderful punch up there. Zoe Hill, heads up play to even go after that. Great effort from Havili Rigdon over the net. But then Harbin on the 10-foot line says, I'm going to go after that. She has reason to celebrate. That was tremendous from the senior. And it's tough. It's tough when you're on the 10-foot line and you're expected in a long rally. The set's high in the air to take a crack at it. That's exactly what she did on that play. Leads to success. And now the Razorbacks, and Matt is set to 3 to push this one to a 5th and decisive set.
You talk about situations that they go over in practice. You need to win 3 points here.
Yeah, you go after this one a lot in practice. You run this one back almost daily, saying, hey, this is just the beauty of the game of volleyball. You know, you keep out there, you keep playing, and you said, hey, you never know what's going to happen, so let's just go after it. And a set to 3. And this is a good teaching experience, both for Coach Watson for the Razorbacks, I mean, they have a record of 1-4. They haven't had a lot of success early on in this 2016 campaign, but you got to be extremely happy with the effort and execution of your team this afternoon against a top 4 team in the country.
Volsky will serve it. The senior puts it in play, tied at 22. Avili quickly to Payne. 21 kills, 13 digs for Kelsey Payne.
And I think everybody knew the ball was going to her. But she says, you know it's going to me, but I'm still going to put it down with some authority.
That ends 3 straight points for Arkansas. Now Jason Watson will use a timeout to draw something up. In these situations, as a coach, is he looking for not only to slow the momentum, but I'm going to draw something up. I'm going to dial something up here that's worked in the past that he likes. What's he talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see both coaching staffs joining together. They're not even talking to their players. So they're discussing, who do I have on the front row? What are the matchups? What do we want to do? What have they done in the past in this match? What are they likely to do again? And how do we adjust our defense? How do we adjust our offense? So now both coaches then will go talk and discuss it with their players. So yeah, it's a kind of a cat and mouse. It's a chess game for sure.
Saw just a little bit of a smile from head coach Ray Bouchard, who loves competition as much as anybody, I'm sure. But Arkansas's had a lot of fight today.
They have, no doubt. And then you can see they're right on that cusp. You thought they had a great opportunity to get back to the NCAA tournament. I mean, they can play at that level. At a disappointing first weekend losing, but they lost to Illinois. They lost to Missouri State, and they lost to Xavier. 3 solid opponents. They lost to a team yesterday in Maryland that I think is very youthful and talented, a tremendous Big Ten 10 that's on the rise. So, I mean, they don't have a bad loss on their record, I would say.
Avili with a dig. Wait, sends it over to Payne. And an opening found there by Jopic.
But they like that matchup. They had Montero, the undersized blocker for the Jayhawks, and Jopic up and the senior. And that's just seeing the floor. I mean, she uses 2 hands. You don't see that very often, but to have control over with 2 hands, she decides to tip it over. I think this is the first time all match she's done that shot. And Brianna Jones taking her time, getting some focus before she serves this ball.
23 all. Avili wants Payne. Razorbacks are there. Opportunity for Arkansas. Cassie Waite.
And that's Kelsey Payne in the net. So now
point to Arkansas. The Razorbacks with a set point. And the serve goes long. The Jayhawks save set point number 1.
And Taylor Susie is going to check in. She was that energy bus, that key player for the Jayhawks. She provided the spark in that third set after dropping the second set. See if she can do the same in this 4th set.
And the Jayhawks have Cassie Waite serving. Payne. Valle with a dig. Avili with a nice dig. Rigdon from the back row. Kansas watches it sail long. The Jayhawks have a match point.
That was a tough one. I mean, you got to tip your cap off to Harbin, though. You love that she's aggressive on that play. Take chances, be aggressive. It goes long, sails out of bounds, but that was quite the rally.
Not so fast. Barbara Jopic puts it away for Arkansas. We're even at 25.
That's veteran play from Barbara Jopic. And fired up, not going to go away. The block unable to stop the senior.
Rippey serves it. Avili sets it for Susie. Montero there to cover. Rigdon from the back row. Off the ceiling, still in play. Arkansas can't save it. Match point number 2 for Kansas.
And ripping from the back row is Madison Mad Dog Rigdon going after it. Rippey tries to handle it. That's playable. Unable to control it. So how about it once again? Match point here for the Jayhawks.
Payne serves into the net. 26 all.
Not too fast. And Coach Broussard saying, okay, let's go. Let's settle in here off of his seat, trying to encourage his Jayhawks.
Miss Danielle Harbin to serve for Arkansas. Susie. Avili back to Susie. Good effort by Arkansas, but Kansas will have its 3rd match point.
Back-to-back sets for Taylor Susie, the senior. Gets just enough of the second one. Arkansas unable to control it. So now Patricia Montero, is she going to rip her jump serve or is she going to stay down? She rolls it in.
Susie and Avili were there. Big hit from Harbin.
Woo! That is impressive. From the back row, over her head, and just takes a crack at it. You gotta love the fight from Harbin. She's been tremendous.
Avili has to track it down. Rigdon. Savannah Volsky gives Arkansas a set point.
And it's been the pin players for the Razorbacks just getting after it, saying, hey, we have nothing to lose. Let's fight for it. Another senior in Savannah Volsky.
Avili to Rigdon. Susie. Nice save from Harbin. Wait with a good dig. Rigdon brings it even at 28.
As he just gets enough of the hand. Rippey trying. She's had some great plays on the back row for the Razorbacks. I'm impressed with the freshman setter's defensive prowess.
Maggie Anderson serves for Kansas. Savannah Volsky comes up big again.
She had an open net. I think Havili was just confused. The Kansas block bit on Brianna Jones. Nobody out there. And that was set up by the pass from Arkansas, right on point.
Another set point for the Razorbacks. Avili wants Rigdon. Rolls it across.
That changeup. And it takes a lot of control, and that's tough to do. You think, oh, it's a softer shot. That's so easy to do. No, that's almost more difficult than taking a full crack at it, is taking that just a touch.
Even at 29. Avili comes up with an ace. And it's the 4th match point for the Jayhawks.
And line-to-line serve. Volsky just unable to hold on to it long enough to control that pass at an angle to her setter.
Volsky makes up for it, though, off the Kansas hands, and we're even at 30.
This is a good one. This is a pretty epic 4th set.
Some determination on that face, isn't there?
And she felt bad for having that service reception error. Responds great for the Razorbacks.
Volsky serves. Avili to Rigdon. Into the net. Set point for Arkansas.
And they need a better pass right now. Avili was too far off the net, so unable to run all attackers were the Jayhawks.
Avili wants Payne. 22 kills now for Kelsey Payne. Even at 31. Rigdon with a good serve. Wow. Danielle Harbin swings harder and harder as this fourth set goes on.
Man, this is pretty epic of a swing. Going up against Kelsey Payne, saying, you don't give me a ton of room to work with online, but she gets after it.
Yet another set point for Arkansas.
Oof.
Wade has to play it over. Chance for the Razorbacks. Who else? Danielle Harbin puts it away. We're going to a fifth. 33-31, Arkansas. Don't go anywhere. We've got the fifth set coming up next on ESPN3. Put another brat on the grill. We've got more volleyball to play. We're going to a fifth. Arkansas saves 4 match points to prevail in that fourth, 33-31. Lee Fleisig, Jill Dorsey Hall with you. And we'll look at the comparison between these two teams and what's the difference?
Yeah, it's been a good one. I just think the fight and the grit from this veteran squad with Arkansas, they could have went away, saving 4 match points in that fourth. And Harbin was sensational. A couple more team blocks for Arkansas. It's really that mentality, I think, of that 7 senior class for the Razorbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kansas responds. I haven't been put in this position in 2016. They weren't put in this position too much last year. They didn't have too many 5-setters. And this is so imperative to get out to a quick lead in this fifth set because you're only playing to 15.
All right, the Razorbacks in their red, trimmed in black, will serve it up. Left-hand side of your screen to the Kansas Jayhawks in their white, trimmed in crimson and blue. Avili to Payne. And right away, Kansas gets the first point.
Yeah, get it to Payne until they stop her. Wonderful pass from Montero, pushing that ball up. All options available. 23 kills to lead all players in this match is Kelsey Payne.
Rigdon with a good serve. Montero there. Avili to Payne.
And a scoring opportunity. And out serve from Rigdon. They were out of system, Arkansas was, so it was an easy ball to pick up. And too much firepower from Payne.
Their Big 12 preseason player of the year coming up big. Gives Kansas a 2-0 lead. Rigdon to serve. Off the tape. Avili takes a shot to the shoulder from Savannah Volsky.
And Volsky for playing defense only last season. She's responded. I mean, in that fourth set when they needed a kill, she came up big one time. Saved the match point.
Payne. Turned back. Was it Harbin who got it?
I had a wall up there. I think Jones was involved as well. She's in the double-digit category in that blocking.
Volsky serves. Avili back to Montero. Turned back by Jopic. And the Razorbacks have won 3 straight points to take a 3-2 lead.
And Dropic just dives in. Watch how she presses over, pushes in at the right time. Montero thinks there's a seam, but no longer, says Dropic.
Even at 3. Zavolski put it in the net.
And Jayhawks, I think if they can get a block at the net or a defensive play to spark this right now, spark this crowd, get some energy on their side.
Cassie Wade digs it out. Rigdon from the back row. And a big hit from Rigdon.
And Cassie Wade just sits in and takes a shot. Digs the ball up. And then how about the confidence to take a swing from the back row, Madison Rigdon. Now creeping up in that kill category for the Jayhawks. A slow start to this match in the kill category, but now 13.
Avili tries to dig that one out, but just too strong from Danielle Harbin.
And Harbin keeps attacking the line. I mean, we've seen her a couple of times just get after it, and Havili able to hold on to it. That's some firepower. It's been Payne and Harbin just from both sides.
Is it possible that Harbin's fastball's got a little bit more on it than it did
I
even 2 hours ago?
It has a lot of heat.
Montero with a nice job to save that one. Avili with a dig. To Payne. Blocked him back in. The Razorbacks are becoming a wall up there. Looks like Harbin got it.
And it's just staying true, staying disciplined, going up, pressing over is Harbin. She's a dynamic.
Another chance for Arkansas. Harbin hits that one wide.
And she said, that's my bad.
Not many mistakes from her today.
No, and good court awareness from Cassie Wade, just saying out, knowing where she is on the floor, letting that ball go wide. She could have played that one up. The set pushed pretty far out past the antenna, so it was a tough one for Harbin to handle.
Payne serves it. Harbin goes with a changeup. Avili to Payne.
Well, you
Payne
have two,
now with 25 kills.
And you have 2 back row options, and Madison Rigdon or Kelsey Payne. They could have went to either one of those.
Thought they're both going to take a swing.
I did. I know
that
they both. Rigdon says, "Oh, you can go ahead and take that one."
Montero got a hand on it, but too strong from Barbara Dropic. Even at 6. We're going to 15. Avili to Susi. Montero goes down the line, just wide.
Montero was going after hands. Had enough room to work with on the line, but look at that. Rachel Rippey right there, knowing that that ball is going to go wide, lets it go.
Avili to Susi. And the senior draws it even at 7.
A beautiful set from Havili to Susi on the slide attack. All starts with a good pass.
Cassie Wade able to dig that one out. Nice play from Rigdon. Susi with the block. Avili with a left hand. Danielle Harbin.
Harbin says, my bad. I'm sorry about that. She went after it, though.
Dr. Ken Gorham had to jump out of the way.
She was up there.
You don't want to get in front of too many of those.
She goes over and apologizes. I love it. I love that.
In the middle of a 5-setter, she wants to go over and apologize.
She knows how hard she hits.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
She just gets after it.
Dr. Ken's pretty tough. I don't think that bothered him. Kansas up 8-7 now. We're going to 15 here in the 5th set. This one seems far from over, but we'll look ahead to see what the Jayhawks have ahead. A unique situation next week where they go to Creighton, and then they'll be back home next Saturday to take on Northern Iowa.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier when they go at Creighton. That's a Sweet 16 team last season. All their returners back, and they're playing in their home gymnasium. Chattanooga is going to have a lot of returners as well. Northern Iowa has a bunch of their team back as well. And then for Arkansas, oh man, Nebraska is going to be a tough one as they look dominating as ever, the defending national champions. And then K-State looked good as well. They upended Hawaii at Hawaii, which is a very difficult arena to win in. They're without their All-American performer, Nikki Taylor, but still a good squad. But Kansas State, impressive when they went on the road to beat them. And then UMKC from the WAC won that conference 2 seasons ago. So it doesn't get any easier. And then they go into conference play in the SEC, where they have the likes of Kentucky, Florida, Texas A&M, all top 25 opponents.
Danielle Harbin, 21 kills, and one off an official. Here in the 5th set, Kansas up 8-7. We're going to 15. Otero serves, and a big time for an ace.
And questionable. That ball might have been going long, but made by Aid question that one and does play it.
3 straight points now for the Jayhawks, puts them on top 9-7. Harbin winds up. Too strong for Kelsey Payne.
And Harbin going to the back row. Is good news for the Jayhawks.
I was going to say, it seems like she's been up there for a while, hasn't she?
Handle as she just gets up and rips.
No fear, no matter what point in the match, and it seems like she's swinging harder the later we get in the match.
And also her body control. I mean, she gets up, gathers, and flies.
Harbin sends it long. She grits her teeth and checks out.
Gets a high five from her coach, deservingly so. They wouldn't be in this match if it wasn't from Danielle Harbin.
Absolutely. Maggie Anderson now for Kansas, up 10-8. Rigdon with a big swing. Off the wall, point to Kansas. Arkansas wants a timeout.
Well, this one's far from over. We played at 15, but the way that Arkansas has been coming back and not letting
We've seen
Kansas,
this before, haven't we?
Yes, we have. That 4th set, and Kansas was up midway through. They look like they're going to run away with it. But with a veteran team, 7 seniors, Arkansas is going to settle down here, see if they can. The key for them is going to be to first ball side out right out of this timeout. So they're talking about, okay, who do we have? What system? Where are we at? What do we want to run offensively with the matchup that Kansas has? And oftentimes when you think about that, the teams are discussing, well, if there's an undersized blocker or a player that they think they can really expose, they're going to utilize that and go after that player. Arkansas's had some success with plays behind the setter, either with Jopic up there on the front row. So let's see if they're going to go to that. First key, though, for both of these teams is first contact, getting their setter a ball where you have all options available. And for Arkansas with a 6-2 system, you have 3 hitters live at all times. And for Kansas right now, Anise Havili is on the front row with 2 of her attackers. So she's considered a live attacker. You have Madison Rigdon, your outside hitter, and then Zoe Hill, the freshman, up live as a middle blocker.
Danielle Harbin off the court, however, for Arkansas. Off the ceiling, but still in play. Rigdon from over her head. Wolski into the net. Kansas 3 points away. 3 straight points for Kansas. Takes them to 12-8.
Let's see if Arkansas goes behind and get the ball to Gatrone or Husino.
They go for the quick set. They wanted Jusino. Kansas 2 points away from this match now, up 13-8. Jason Watson wants another timeout. Try to get something set up for his Razorbacks.
We can understand why they're trying to push the middle on that, just a misconnection on the play for Arkansas. Kansas will take it, though. Anytime you can get freebies in the 5th set, you'll hold on to those. So that's a good look at Coach Watson talking to his coaching staff, talking about where do we want to go? What do we want to do here with matchups? And you have the advantage right now as Zoe Hill, the undersized middle for the Jayhawks, the freshman, against Husino for Arkansas. So we're going to see if they're going to go to that play once again, back to the middle. But as I mentioned, it all starts if you can get a good pass so you can run your offense effectively. The fans have seen a good one, haven't they?
Working a little overtime on this Labor Day weekend, huh?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, it'll be Kansas serving. Maggie Anderson. 2 points away from the match. Montero was there. Rigdon. Match points now for Kansas.
And she's missed a couple of times going after that line. This time, spot on. As a hammer. I think that ball might have been going wide, but Rippey doesn't want it to hit the sideline.
5 straight points for the Jayhawks, brings them to 14-8. Kansas survives a 5-setter. 15-8 in the 5th. Saw their streak of straight set wins come to an end. But this was a hard-fought battle, wasn't it?
No doubt. I mean, give a ton of credit to the Razorbacks. Kansas, in the sets that they lost, looked like they had cleared a stronghold on it, but never giving up. 7 seniors for the Razorbacks. Danielle Harbin for them. She is going to continue to have a great senior campaign. 22 kills to lead her squad. And then Kelsey Payne, 25 kills, 13 digs, 4 blocks. She was tremendous.
Kansas wins it in 5 sets. A big thank you to our entire Rock Chalk Video crew. 2 hours.